Don't want to see my mug.
Yeah, and we're gonna do that, and we're gonna do that, and so okay, sorry, we got our first two bands, Falstad and Zool. This is a very interesting start to our drafting phase here, and give me 2 seconds here, and I'm gonna get everything together. Um,
So on a map like Sky Temple, that's not unexpected. Falstad is just so freaking good; it's unbelievable right now. He's with that Mage Stad style, resurging, and with the just the unmitigated pushing power that Zool has, in the bank there. That's no surprise.
yep. Okay.
So
So
it was Fortyhands who banned the Falstad. That's a very intelligent pick. Tim from Fatty Ganks has been favoring that character lately, so it looks like they have been doing a little bit of homework here. And Fortyhands picking up the Li Ming.
absolutely. Sky Temple is a very fun one. You have a lot of points where you have two uh, objectives to catch, so you actually have a lot of split going on this map,
Hmm.
and
And Zagar is picked up by Fatty Ganks. I mean, you can't go wrong with Zagar. Zagar
yeah.
fits with every composition in the book.
Zagara's sight is just so powerful, and I don't know if you can get rid of that. I mean, like that's just one of those things that she's just known for,
Hmm.
and it's interesting. But yeah, they're running into their looks like they should be picking up their second. Oh, and a
Oh,
thrall pick.
well, two really scary solo laners picked up by Fatty Ganks. Really, really strong picks there. I mean, for 40 hands here, I mean, do we dip into the tank pool already, or do we lock up some more DPS? What do you think, Kenny?
Well, I don't know who Kenny is, but no, I'm
Oh yeah,
kidding.
that guy. It's the cameras. The cameras are throwing me off.
It's okay. So that's rough. I don't know if you want to risk not picking up a tank, although they're going to pick up Rhaegar. So if they're going to pick up a tank, that's going to be tank and healer. They're going to have to. They've already banned out Falstad. Who else is valued on this map? Do you think?
I mean, anybody who can lock a position down, if they're feeling really gutsy, they can go with something new and unusual. Like you can see a cheeky Gazlo pick. I would like to see. I mean, they've got the mage already. I'd like to see maybe. I'd like to see the tank right now. I really would. I'd like to see them just lock the tank out, and then focus their remaining DPS on countering who gets picked up by Fatty Ganks. And we do
And
see the tank get picked up. Muradin is locked in by 40 hands.
yeah, great caster
Oh yeah,
star sense right going on
boom.
right there.
Stay
Yeah.
tuned, folks. You might learn something.
Oh. So we'll see. So the counter ban should be something in the lines of something an assassin they don't want to see, right? Maybe a
Yeah,
specialist or an assassin. Do you think that we're going to see Sylvanas bans? I mean, right now it's
this
one
isn't
of
really.
those.
This really isn't an aggressive push map. I
Mhm.
mean, Sylvanas really is at her peak with compositions built around assisting her in pushing walls and forts down. In this map, the map objective does it for you, so I don't really see, Sylvanas. Instead of Sylvanas, you can go for a Vala pick, get basically, a similar hero in terms of ranged options, but you get a little more auto attack damage and a little more flexibility.
Mhm.
We see Sonya and ETC banned out by Fatty Ganks and 40 Hands, respectively. So Fatty Hands or Fatty Ganks, excuse me. Oh man, this is
Oh
gonna
boy,
throw me tonight.
this is going to be
So
interesting.
Fatty Ganks sort of limited on the tank pool right now. They have Johanna at the ready. They have
Yeah,
Diablo potentially, who really hasn't been that much of a solo tank of late. But uh,
Dahaka. Dahaka.
Dahaka's got
This
potential.
might
I'd
be a
like to see
Takaka
Dahaka.
map. I mean, this is one of those maps that you could do two tanks on. Contest the objective, get one of your tanks to be very pokey, and then another one like you could do Leoric, Johanna. You could do. I mean, this is one of those maps that if you can control, it's a point
Yeah,
control.
yeah. You want survivability on those control points, and there's a lot of bushes
Hmm.
on this map. There's a lot of potential for Dahaka to go swooping in from one control point to the other. You make a really good point on the Dahaka pick.
Yeah. So we'll see a Vala picked up. That's a strong like just overall character to have.
Mm-hmm. And the Karazhan pick.
Okay. So who do you think the tank is going to be, Joe?
Uh,
I
yeah.
mean,
I mean, with no Tyrande pick, Diablo's unlikely. He really pairs best with Tyrande. I think Johanna is just a safe, good solid tank to complement their current composition.
yeah.
This is like a bread and butter, classic vanilla composition coming from Fatty Ganks. You've got some of the best in each field. You've got good, Zagara, Thrall, Vala, Karazim. These are all, staple characters in their roles. So we're seeing two mage come out from 40 hands. We're
Oh
getting
man,
Kael'thas and Li
Kael'thas.
Ming.
Oh boy,
They're,
Kael'thas has seen some interesting back and forth nowadays.
yeah, he's got the
Um,
1,000-yard stare right now.
yeah, and I don't know if I think I forgot to tell the teams, but if Tracer's not in the draft, Rexar is Tracer, which is one heck of a one heck of a downside for any teams who want to pick Rexar.
Poor Rexar.
I know.
He's not even a real character anymore. He's just out there. He's just a placeholder. So
He's a
I feel
placeholder.
like 40 hands running out of time here. 3 seconds left to go with Dahaka. That was
Oh,
what I was
oh.
going to say. They need a second front liner to help protect their mages. They need somebody who can make sure that Muradin is not bypassable. That Muradin can't just be ignored. And Dahaka is an excellent pick here.
That is a
So
lot of damage coming out on Kael'thas and Li Ming, and if they can hold those two, Dahaka and Muradin will be great for the counterplay.
it's a lot of damage, but it's also cooldown based, which means they're going to be worried about mana. They're going to be worried about long sustained fights where their cooldowns are going to be off more than they're on. So Fatty Ganks, 10 seconds left, locks in Diablo.
Oh,
Oh,
what?
So what'd I say? You're gonna learn something here tonight. So
Yep.
caster predictions on and off here tonight.
Yeah, I thought we were gonna see a very meta heavy lineup, but this seems a little off meta here.
Diablo's still a good tank. There's nothing wrong with picking Diablo. The thing is, you just have to make sure that he doesn't use his trait too frequently in the end game. I mean, if you're going into engagements with a Diablo with minimal souls, active, you're just not going to get the same value out as you're going to, with a regular another tanks like Johanna, who's constantly topped off with hit points, who's constantly, at her peak.
Yeah, here's the question though: can Diablo survive the combined power of Kael'thas and Li Ming?
I think so.
You think?
I think Diablo has enough hit points to handle getting whacked by those two. I think we can expect Kael'thas to build for percentage-based damage. Take the build for Q potentially. There's a lot of frontliners on Fatty Ganks. A lot of people who can get caught up in those flame strikes. We'll have to see. I like the the two warrior play from 40 hands. I think that's a smart decision given their current mage heavy composition. And we'll have to see just how this runs out for them.
Yeah, we'll see here. So we're just gonna get our draft here, or I'm sorry, I shouldn't have switched out of our draft here. My bad. So any interesting talent picks that you think are gonna happen?
Let's see here.
You think we'll see Haymaker, Playmaker?
I don't know. If they're confident in their Rhaegar and keeping people alive, that's a surefire way to make sure that your backline does not get invaded. That being said, there isn't a ton of dive potential from Fatty Ganks. Diablo has his initiation, which you can always count on, but the follow-up after that initiation really can't penetrate that far into the backline. You got Sunder, which can get you a good engagement, but there's no direct jumpers the way that you'd have with Sonya or Greymane or Illidan.
Yeah. There's nothing that can bypass that front line and just go straight into for the damage.
Yeah, so I would think Haymaker could be a good pick here. Haymaker could actually be a good pick here.
Yeah, well, we'll have to see how that goes. With the recent buffs to Haymaker, it should be an interesting interesting decision to be made, especially with the 2 tank lineup here. So,
So what's your gut tell you? Who do you give the edge to right now?
I'm not confident Diablo can solo tank. I'll be completely honest with you. I'm not confident Diablo can solo tank, especially on this map. So, but we'll see. All right, let's get this party started here. And of course, repping the cheer league shirts here.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, I don't have mine.
Oh, okay. It's all
Oh,
right.
this is so lame. Oh, look at this. This is a weak sauce here. When we'll be right back, everybody.
No.
That was actually what my technical difficulty was. My computer didn't melt down. I actually just couldn't find my shirt.
Well, we'll have it for a little bit later, or actually, you know what? It's fine. We'll be good. We are casting tomorrow, as far as I know. So we'll see how that goes.
So yeah, we'll get to introductions when we zone into the game here. So welcome everyone. Tonight we are seeing Fortyhands and Fatty Ganks. All sorts of fun stuff going on here. Both these teams are in the placement league and vying for a spot in the chair league divisions. Let's take a look, zoning in here at Sky Temple.
Yeah, and I apologize for the technical difficulties from earlier. That was uncharacteristic and
entirely my fault.
No, it just shows how much I rely on you for casting.
It's good to feel loved. All right here on the left-hand side in the blue trunks, playing for Team 40 Hands, we have Steven on the Li Ming, the JRM11 on Rhaegar, Templex on Kael'thas, Hans on Dahaka, and Black Spade on the Muradin. On the right-hand side, repping the red team, playing for Fatty Ganks, we have Kill Myself on the Zagara, Craig Koski on Karazim, Kozer88 on Diablo, Synthos on the Thrall, and Tim on the Vala.
Mm-hmm. All right, and we're gonna see a 5-stack in mid from 40 Hands, and actually only 2.
Yeah,
from Fatty Ganks.
Sort of a traditional, it's a 1-2-2 from Fatty Ganks, and it looks like they're gonna send a few folks up potentially into mid here, but Zagara is gonna have free reign of the bottom lane for a while here. Who do you send down to face Zagara if you're 40 Hands in this situation? They really don't have a reliable, sustained lane presence.
It would definitely have to be Kael'thas, because Kael'thas, honestly, with his new quest mechanics, you need to support it. I mean, I think he might be one of the ones with the somebody with one of the most new quest mechanics. I'm not confident on that prediction. Caster Logic doing it live.
Well, right now, it looks like we're going to see a D build from the Kael'thas. He took Felon Fusion at 1. As far as other talents go, we're seeing Colossal Totem from the Rhaegar, Enhanced Agility from the Dahaka, very standard, and Reverb from the Muradin on 40 Hands. Pretty standard stuff here. Nothing raising any eyebrows.
Yeah, Reverb's very powerful against this AA heavy build here. I mean, you got Karazim, you got Vala, you got Thrall.
And no surprise from Fatty Ganks, we see very standard talents and Vala going for an auto attack build. The question regarding Diablo tanking is almost answered early. Diablo brought down really low in contestation at the mid temple there.
Yeah.
And it looks like both teams are just going 1-for-1 on this one. Fatty Ganks grabbing the top temple, whereas 40 Hands takes the mid.
Yeah, so Fatty Ganks is gonna have a hell of a time trying to push in mid. So they're gonna try to soak. I think that would be the best bet with a couple supporting the top, because the timing should work out. Even if you lose the last couple of shots, the amount of extra XP you can get from soaking a lane would probably even that out. And actually, there's no one taking advantage of the bottom lane right now, which is interesting.
No, Kill Myself taking a lot of damage in mid from Templex, does manage to get out of there without falling. Zagara Hearts and is going to be rotating back down to that bottom lane.
Still no first blood here. 2 minutes and 30 seconds in on this map, and that's pretty interesting. Everyone's playing very conservatively.
Thrall is caught very far forward, though. He might be going down. The Muradin and the Li Ming pushing, and with the jukes and the monk support, Thrall's going to make it out just fine.
Yep.
Well played from Synthos getting out of that situation.
Oh, I'm going to hear my name in that every single
Yes,
time.
you are.
So let's see here. Some rotations going down towards Dahaka here, and Dahaka's going to have to back off to let them soak up the rest of this lane.
Dahaka just grabs a quick drink, and Kael'thas comes down as well. Oh, it's party time. Everybody's on fire.
Yeah, the fire. Thankfully, they fixed that bug with Kael'thas, where he could literally set everyone on fire. Because, a fire party is only fun if you're Kael'thas. So, a little bit of a interaction going on in mid. Thrall moving out of lane a little bit in top, but nothing serious.
Yeah, I think both teams. We're still a little ways out, but both teams are going to start thinking about the bottom lane temple. Probably not going to be turning up for another 20 or 30 seconds here.
Yeah, so looks like timings are about right here, actually.
Both teams going for the Merc camps. This is clockwork. Perfect move for this map. For those of you new on this map who might not have played very much before, timing these top mercenary camps to coincide with the bottom temple rising, which maximizes the amount of damage that they might do, since your opponent's focus is going to be focusing downward now.
Mm-hmm. And so the timing's really excellent on these two teams here, showing a lot of game knowledge of just the timings of the map and just a lot of experience, really.
Yeah.
So I'm actually really impressed by by how well they timed that with the two mercs.
Mirror images, really nicely done. Fortyhands does take the initial advantage down here with Kael'thas getting some position and getting some free shots in on the point. Fatty Ganks is looking to set up shop and push in here, but they haven't quite found the right angle.
Yeah, how would you go in there? I think Diablo has to take the lead, but looks like they're going to try to pick off some of the edge defenders here.
Yeah. Diablo went in on Kael'thas, but could not secure a kill, and then took a large amount of damage. Huge flame strike catching 4 people there. Lots of damage going off. That's big for Kael'thas.
Yeah, Kael'thas is doing a number on the other team here, although he is going very and
this is what we were talking about, those sustained fights taxing Fortyhands mana.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Diablo has to go back and drink now and disengage a little bit, but it looks like Zagara is the first blood of the game here, and that's really impressive actually for both teams to have survived this long without a first blood, playing very conservatively. But Thrall goes down next, although everyone.
Fortyhands, they're hanging on by a thread right there. A lot of hit points on Dahaka and Li Ming, though. They should be able to close this out and secure the rest of this temple. No contest.
Yeah, the 2 tanks really shows the sustainability of that comp. You really are able to just soak up the amount of damage that the other team's able to put out. Whether or not you misclick or miss a juke or something like that, you're just able to soak up.
The Dahaka pick was really a great one. I'm really liking the Dahaka pick. It gives you great wave clear, which you're lacking with Mirrodin, and you're lacking, with some of the other characters like Li Ming. Her wave clear isn't quite as good as Kael'thas's or Rhaegar's. You get great wave clear and great global presence from Dahaka. So I really like this pick from Fortyhands.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. And so, 40 Ganks really took advantage of the fact that they weren't going to take bottom, and they actually split up to start soaking a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
However, 40 Hands takes the race to ult here.
Yep.
Just a little bit ahead of 40 Ganks.
And
I wonder if they're
unfortunately, we don't get a playmaker haymaker on this one. It's gonna be the good standards here, the old standards: Disintegrate, Ancestral Healing, Phoenix, Isolation, and Avatar coming from Fortyhands here. And just now does Fatty Ganks make it to 10.
Mm-hmm. However, Vala goes down very early here, and Palm goes down really, really early. Probably a misclick on that regard there. But the team has to back off at this point. This is just not a fight they can take.
Yeah, the monk Craig Koski almost brought down by a living bomb of Kael'thas, and just heals himself at the last moment there, keeping his team alive and himself as well. So excellent advantage gained by 40 Hands, pushing through mid there with the heroic abilities in hand, and capitalizing on a Vala kill before Fatty Ganks really had the opportunity to pick their ults. So we're seeing Devouring Maw from Zagar that was used in this last fight, Divine Palm and Apocalypse coming from Karazhan and Diablo, and Sundering. All the ults were almost immediately used by Fatty Ganks to try and gain some momentum in that fight.
So a very Soulstone-based build from Diablo there. It's almost like he's being the ultimate evil.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is to help mitigate that issue, that late game issue we brought up, where Diablo will die, and then suddenly a substantial amount of his hit points are missing, or a substantial amount of his hit point pool is just gone until he regains souls. So, no, this is a good call from the Diablo, pushing up the amount of souls that they can carry, or pardon me, that pushing up the amount of souls that he can generate to help mitigate that in-game weakness that he has.
Yep, and Thrall, good choice on Thrall trying to solo the bottom here while they push forward, and they actually take down that fort. Fort. Yeah, fort. I can never get that right.
Yeah, I mean, both teams are just trading blows right now, but this is a situation for Fatty Ganks where if they continue to trade like this, they're still going to end up behind. 40 Hands is starting to do damage on the keep tier structures. They're about to bring a tower down, and Fatty Ganks is still working on forts.
Yeah, that was a great read by Fatty Ganks, by the way. They did not move forward and towards the tower that they were not going to get, because they were setting for the 40 Hands was setting up for a gank. However,
the Vala is caught. Vala is caught out in mid and pounced on by the entirety of 40 Hands, and that is not good. They move for the boss immediately, confident in that talent tier advantage that they have and the numeric advantage that they have currently. Yeah,
that's a very scary spot to be in, because they know that Diablo is the only tank. So if they can handle, if Murden can solo handle Diablo, Dehaka can tank the boss and do enough damage to just.
This is coming close. Sundering is up. Sundering gets interrupted. Apocalypse goes down in time, and we've got a big fight.
Oh!
But it's stolen by Fatty Ganks.
That was a great Maw. 3-man Maw stole that. Basically stole that boss. I mean, without that 3-man Maw, you would not have seen that boss take. That was an amazing steal from
excellent work
Fatty
from
Ganks.
Fatty Ganks.
Yeah, they're going to probably mostly go down as a result of this.
No? I think they're going to make. I think those who have not gone down so far are going to make it.
Oh wow, yeah.
And Hans a little bit out of position, but he's able to dig back in time and join the rest of his team defending the boss at bottom lane.
Yeah, so that was a very effective move. The throw pit is still, keeping its name.
It's so scary.
Yeah, it's a scary pit. So we have a movement on the mercenary camps here at top, and a smart move, really, because right now, we're between temples. You need some map presence, and you need to push a little bit, take advantage of the fact that the other team is definitely on the other side of the map. And so we see the two temples spawn here in top and mid.
It's top and mid, which means this bruiser camp at top is probably going to get picked off relatively quickly. But, I mean, they're fixing for a scrap in mid here. Most ults are off cooldown on Fatty Ganks. They're going for it. They dive on Vala. The Divine Palm goes off and is not procced, so Vala at very low hit points right now.
Yeah, that was very scary for Vala. I really thought that she was going to go down there, and she misses her Q, and so they are in full retreat mode at this point.
Yeah,
they are not safe. Oh my gosh, Vala almost getting picked off by the minions there, the Winions. Oh, that was so close. And so very smart of 40 Hands to stay as a 5-man group here.
Oh man, one of those minions almost got promoted. They were almost a main character.
Tracer? I'm sorry. There's some jokes going on about Tracer's health being a little bit more than a minion's.
So Fatty Ganks really spoiling for a fight right now.
Wow.
They take a lot of damage from Li Ming. Ancestral goes off on Murd and keeps him up, but the Dehaka is caught. I
don't even know what's going on right now.
Goes underground. The Dehaka burrows under the maw, survives, and they're able to pick up 2 kills bringing down Thrall and bringing down Zagara.
How did you go under a maw? What is going on here?
Oh my god, Zerg. They're overpowered against other Zerg. It doesn't even make any sense.
I don't understand what happened with that.
David Kim, please.
Literally unplayable. Please fix. So, wow, that was one heck of a matchup
so
there.
The Zagara Ma almost catches Dahaka. Almost catches everyone. But Dahaka ducks the Maw, ducks the damage, stays alive, and manages to survive the ensuing team fight, and Fortyhands cleans up.
Yeah, that was very impressive. Honestly, I thought the Maw worked on unstoppable characters and stasis characters, so I don't know if that's intended. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, I got to look at that replay. I want to look at that replay and see if he was caught in the Maw or if the Burrow denied the Maw. That's a unit interaction I'm just unfortunately not too familiar with.
Yeah, I mean, the Dahaka interaction is just so different.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's see here. We're
JRM hearths back, leaving his team without a healer time. The retreat pings go down. They know what's up.
Great communication from the teams, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, the rotations here are pretty on the spot. They're sticking together pretty well here, not pushing too far when they don't need to. It looks like they're going to go to clean up bottom here, or at least they were. It looks like the entire team actually shifted as a whole, which means that that's just excellent play all together.
Fortyhands, we'll see. I want to see how long Fatty Ganks can draw this out. And Vala is brought down again. The Zagara gets palmed, survives. Kill Myself manages to make it out. Maw is up. It catches Kael'thas. Zagara brought down by the ensuing flame strike, though, and it is a disaster for Fatty Ganks. Only the monk, Craig Kasky, is able to make it out.
Yeah, that was an intense engagement there. I think the fact that they were moving away and Zagara was caught off guard, and plus the talent advantage. I mean, they were up 16 or 17 to 15 here.
Yeah.
They were not in a position to take that team fight. So
the GGs are coming out. GG, well played, and it looks like Fortyhands is winning their first game in the chair league.
Yeah, well played from both teams. Great interaction, and I'm sorry to say, I don't think Diablo can solo tank this map.
Yeah. There was so much damage. I mean, Dahaka also bringing the hurt on top of Kael'thas and Li Ming. I mean, if we look at the hero damage, actually, not as much as I was anticipating. But goose eggs in the death column for Fortyhands. Absolutely impeccable play. Staying alive. Someone call the Bee Gees. But yeah, I mean, the numbers speak for themselves. Tons of damage from the Kael'thas, tons of damage from Li Ming, and at the end of the day, they had the front line to cope, and there was just not enough opportunities for Fatty Ganks to pick up on those backline characters, on Li Ming or Kael'thas. Dahaka and Muradin very effectively built that wall, and they defensed it as a
in the wise
words of that Ukrainian genius White Rock. we made a front line and we defensed it. But no, it was a good game.
Oh,
I honestly thought Fatty Ganks had so many moments where they were ready to make the big comeback. They had so many moments where they were about to make push and do it. The boss steal was such a big moment for them.
Oh my gosh, I love that boss steal. That was so good on the Maw, catching everyone off guard. Somehow, they weren't standing on it. If they were, even if they were standing on the point, there still would have been. I mean, it was just really hard for them to cap that, even with one down.
I'm amazed they stole boss with one person down.
Yeah,
that's phenomenal.
Absolutely. I mean, Throw Pit almost made its name worth. But
so what's the takeaway from this one? What are we stealing for our game?
Well,
I think you got to respect two warriors with Dahaka in the backup warrior role.
Absolutely. I mean, Dahaka we've seen actually solo tank fairly well. But in this particular map where the objectives are sometimes split, having the two tanks, or even just the fact that they had Diablo as a solo tank. I'm sorry, I still Diablo just doesn't do it for me for as a solo tank.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's the lack of escape. His engage is his charge. It's not an escape.
And I mean, there was a lot of crowd control on hand
Mhm.
for 40 hands to help mitigate that. So like, oh, Diablo charges in. Oh no, he's in our back. Like, oh, never mind. He's stunned. He's dragged.
Mhm.
Kael'thas dropped dropped an E on him. Like suddenly this Diablo's been now he's you know he can't control his character for 3 seconds, four
Yeah.
seconds.
And honestly, Kael'thas is a great counter for Karazim. I mean, Kael'thas is really, really powerful whenever you have a
Hmm.
grouped set of people. And Karazim requires you to be grouped to be effective as a healer.
Yeah.
Uh, so,
Do you
we saw
think?
some excellent Qs and Ws coming out of the Kael'thas. And I think
Yeah.
that.
Kael'thas was absolutely pivotal in this victory here. There were so many flame strikes that caught 3, 4 people. There was that huge one at the bot temple fight. I
Mhm.
think just before level 10, that first bot temple fight where Kael'thas literally hit the whole team except one. I think Thrall made it out. Kael'thas hit the whole team with a flame strike, and it was just brutal.
Yeah.
Like you just do an about face and you walk home after that.
Yeah, I mean, and Vala really just didn't have enough HP to survive a lot of these engagements. I mean, she just, had to turn tail and get healed back up. And Karazim doesn't have enough like burst healing to accommodate that. I mean, you can definitely see that he healed for a lot. He healed 51,000, but Kael'thas just did so much damage to the other heroes. I mean,
Yeah,
the group damage.
Yeah, the Kael'thas pick I'm trying out to look back at the draft again. I believe it was the Kael'thas pick in response to Karazim. Was he picked that far back in the line?
Let me pull up the drafting screen here. Kael'thas was right before Dahaka, and since they had first pick, Kael was picked up in response to Karazim. Yes, because final pick was Diablo.
I mean, it's a very smart choice.
Hmm.
You drop all that AOE damage, all that spreadable damage on the monk, and suddenly a lot of that healing is mitigated.
Hmm. Absolutely. So, great game all around. Again, excellent on the rotations, excellent on the mechanics of the game, but unfortunately, the solo tank Diablo just couldn't bring the
Bring the terror, man.
it could not bring the terror. I mean, the APOC counter was the APOC that what was it? It was that last engagement when they turned around but failed it. It was effective. It just didn't pan out.
Hmm.
So
So yeah, unfortunately, every week we do this at Chair League. Unfortunately, there's only one winner every night. But tonight it's going to go to 40 hands. We'd love to give you both the W, but better luck next time for Fatty Ganks. We hope to see them again and hope to cast another one of their matches. I mean, they look like a fun team to watch and a fun team to play on.
yeah. So thanks everyone. We'll be back in about 20 or 10 minutes actually for our next match, which is Ascension Prime and Kairos.
Wait,
All right. What?
we got to work on your names, buddy.
English is my second language. That's always my excuse.
Uh-huh.
All right. See you in a little bit, people.